Hello. I'm recording this little, I guess, intro after I already recorded the my programming session that you're about to see. Um, so I'm working on a project called oVault. I've been wanting to work on this for a while, and I know I wanted to use my other project, OstrichDB, as the backend, but I'm finally getting to it. And so oVault is just an account or a password manager for your machine. Um, Using built with SvelteKit and using OstrichDB on the back end. So during this little session you're about to see, I do a little bit of back end work, have a few issues here and there, find some old code that's fucking up stuff, and also fix some of that. And then I do a little vibe coding for the front end because I'm like front end is not my favorite thing in the world. But how Obalt will work is you create an account, you log in, and you'll be able to access your information that's stored in OstrichDB. So if I show you what that looks like real quick, uh, this is how I plan on having things. Right now, this is just static on the front end. It's hard coded, I should say. But you'll have an OstrichDB collection and a cluster within it, and this is how it will look when it's not encrypted. And it's a matter of just kind of retrieving that data and putting it on the front end and allowing users to update it. OstrichDB is already built out. I'm using the open OstrichDB version. You can too if you want. There are bugs that I'm still need to work out and that I'm finding now in this project. Uh, and I wanted to use this opportunity to have a proof of concept of using OstrichDB on something on a different project. The backend is being used on ostrichdb.com, but I wanted to build something else to show people that it can be used. If you're interested in oVault, you can just go to the oVault repository under my name, Schooly B, oVault. The entire Open OstrichDB project is also in here, since it's the database and the API layer and all that good stuff. So, yeah, more work to come on this. So stay tuned. Peace. Okay, hello. I'm working on a project called oVault. It's a um, local only password manager. I mean, I guess technically you could host the back end somewhere in the front end if you wanted to. I wouldn't. Honestly, I wouldn't do that. Um, so it's not done. I'm still working on it, but running into an issue where we're getting a seg fault whenever I try to create an account. Now I need to see what type of request is sent. So I see your effect pre-flight. Hmm. This failed, but it's not telling me what's the thing? Net error. So I think the server is crashing before the request actually gets sent. Project fetch special post secure projects secure post. So something's happening here. It's crashing. All right. Let's see if we're actually post request. Let's see if we're actually even getting here. I don't think it is, which scares me. Yeah, no. Okay, so handling is somewhere in the server itself, not the handlers. Hmm. It actually, let me see. I wonder why. Projects. They add everything to the router, right? So let's. Can't get there, but the moment it makes a request or handles the request or attempts to handle said request. And sadly, just seg fault. So I'm not even seeing any of the actual errors. It's waiting to receive data. That's a funny comment. Okay, so it does not. First rebuff. For delete buff. Hmm. It must be. Oh, okay. Localhost. Makes your project slash secure token. The token is accurate, right? Public OstrichDB token. So if I try to create a project called secure, wait, that might be the problem. Hold on. Project, uh, project slash secure. And past that, let's run the server again. It creates it. Okay, so it's something with the front end then. I'm going to prevent these from being called for now. Public OstrichDB, system failed. And we're also not even getting registration error, what the error is. So somewhere like we're literally right here, it's breaking. Secure. Project slash secure. Wait a minute. Is it a cores issue? Config development. Portfolio. It shouldn't be. Where is the? Oh, is it? Oh shit. Hold on. No. Okay, that's allowed origins. There it is. Is this production? This is production. We're not worried about this. Okay, so it is a course thing, from what I can tell. Now, I don't know if we're using okay. Ostrich in. Okay, so that's possibly something we should be using get env. It should assume development though. Yeah, it should assume development. Localhost. Yeah. 5173. Shouldn't be a cores issue. So config environment string. It should assume development, so that shouldn't be an issue. Um, get environment. What do you call that? Get environment. Oh, that might be. Mm, master secret. Security config. All right, I'm gonna turn the screen off for a second and open another project real quick to find a .env file and see if that helps. So bear with me. Actually, I'll just pause the video. Okay, that didn't make a difference. There's nothing even there anyway. Hmm. I am unsure what's happening here. We're sending over our token. It's failing twice. Post. There's a second request being sent, second post request. Or is this one not a post request? This one is a post request. Set destination after origin. Or it could be um oh god dang it. Where is this at? It doesn't it shouldn't matter. No. Hmm. What am trying to access the wrong thing. Okay, yeah, this is very, very strange. I don't understand why this is happening. Why would that request make a server-side fault? No other requests, especially like from Postman, making the same exact request has that issue. Happening in the server before we even get to the handler. Everything's added to the routers and it gets to waiting to receive data. Then the client makes a request and that breaks shit. Hmm. Look at this AI response about my project. I mean, it gets it from like GitHub and any information out there. That's pretty cool. Um, I just saw it. Where is it? Right here. That's the working the what'd you call it? Do. Oh, this is using the oh shit, that's 4 months ago. Damn it. OstrichDB.com. Cluster editor. Collection overview. Projects component. Encoded URI component. Could that potentially be an issue? No, it shouldn't be. Not for this. For records, maybe, sure, but not. Where did. Ah, here we go. This is what we're probably missing. Content, content type. Um, There we go. That's probably gonna be it. Hopefully. Application slash JSON. And uh, hopefully. Oh, you know what? We need to also remove the. Did I make it again? Blah, 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 user. Let's see. Mm. Oh, wait, where'd it go? Where'd the errors go? Where are the freaking errors at? Failed net error. Empty what? It's not empty response because the server fucking crashes. Hmm. This is weird. So at first I was thinking, okay, maybe it was an issue with the server. Then I was like, okay, well, no, maybe it's an issue with the front end and way it was sending requests. I was missing some headers, but I added them. Now I'm thinking it's a server. I mean, it's telling me that error empty response, and the response come back as empty because the server said faults out. But why is the server said? I've never had an issue with it. Well, previously when I was having a bunch of memory leaks and shit and trying to request memory that wasn't there. I fixed the config. Client overrides. Care about that. Called in handlers. Okay, I'm down for that. Get request. But then it's not even getting here. That's the issue. It's not even getting to the handlers. It's so let me see. Does this take in does it take in a config? App config. Oh, set faults right away. There. Oh, that's not good. So it might be something with the config. Interesting. Okay, this comes from load config from .env. Load.env. Get environment development. Get environment. Debug return. Okay, so we know that's executing there. So this returns development as a string. If it's not that, return true. So everything else we set end of key return true. Okay, load in comes from here. This returns a boolean. Right. As expected. Okay, so now return load config is in the environment. So where are you? Oh, okay, so let's do right. So this is a can we do reference? No, that doesn't matter. What if we do that just finds the address. Okay, so that's stored, but nothing is actually interesting. If we got cores dot is pointer to everything else. Can we get something specific? Anything specific would be great. Debug config head, bad enum value. All right. My question is, why is this happening? Mm, Hmm. I don't think we need to do override. We just need to lower. Our config needs to come directly from the default. So all this for now should be good to go. This returns. Okay, this is expecting a pointer two. Oh, config is equal. I want to see something. It might be some fucking magic happening here that I don't like. Mm. Why are all the returns as it is? Look config, look config. We look config every single fucking time before we get to the handlers, but that doesn't get default config. This returns. Okay, so that's fine. Why do we not just create pointer two here and then just just create data here? I think we should just create a pointer two. All right, so we would do config and like that. And we don't care about this one anyway, or logging for that matter. All right, and so this would just be config.server. All right, is that wrong? Config.server.host. How's that an issue? Oh, all right. I'm aware I have a lot of magic numbers here. A lot of this fucking shit needs to be fixed. Let's see, return pointer to. Now, I am also going to need to incorporate slices here. And that overrides takes in a pointer to a config. So when we load the config, can we just pass this a fucking? So we have. Why did I build this one? Get in, get default. So we should call this something else, honestly. Set default config. Okay. Config returns pointer to. This expects that. So we just do that. And now we don't need to do this anymore because we're just going to pass config or return config. Okay, no segfault on startup and everything's there. It's been appended correctly. So we don't get a segfault anymore. Fuck yes. All right, I fixed it. Good, good, good. Hell yeah. Get other errors, but I had to remove. There was some bullshit. There was some fuckery. I, whatever I was just having down here that I deleted. Uh, this shit didn't need that. Okay. A lot of this was specifically for OstrichDB anyway, so a lot does need to be changed. OstrichDB, the web application, I should say. We are using OstrichDB, the backend itself. Um, Excellent. That works out. So, did that make it did make the user shit? It did make secure. Nice. Great. So we need to do that again. This time, um, we do everything on that first startup on resignation or registration, I should say. Uh, um, Okay, good. So now there will be no manual query. We can clean up a lot of this shit. That's what I'm gonna do now. A lot of this is specific to OstrichDB. We'll keep user account management just in case. I'll leave that alone. Projects, the health version, manual query. We do not need to add that to the router. All that's good and dandy there. Okay. Now, what else did I do? Print out the config, right? Config this, okay. Build.env. Does this do something? This just returns true. Does it set anything? Return true, it's been loaded. Get in our environment. Return true. I don't know if I need this anymore because we're just straight up loading the config. The environment doesn't matter. Yeah, the environment does not matter. All right, sounds good. We don't need environments anymore anyway. Okay, good to know. Validate security config. That's good and dandy. Um, all right. Okay, so let's run this again. Um, okay, we have credentials, and there we go. Perfect. See, this is what we want. It's not encrypted. I don't know why the encryption's not working. I am using OpenOstrichDB, but I did port, like, migrate it over to the latest version, so this should be encrypted, but whatever, regardless. So next, the next step would be during sign in, we retrieve the user's fucking uh, username and password, right? And then we want to validate that it's the same, whatever they enter is what's read from the database, and then they can log in. All right. Now, since this is front end work, I'm just going to vibe code the shit out of it. I don't care for that right now. Let's go page. Um, Store. Okay. Perfect. All right. So next we need to do, so that was registration. Where is, we need to do log. No, we already have login. Where is that at? This is all of it right here. Yeah, we don't. We want to have a login route. Svelte. Svelte. On page. Maybe we don't need a layout though. Let's delete that for now since the register one doesn't have a page. We want to take free. Let's just vibe code it. Fuck it. Also, now did I add? I didn't add those endpoints for register and login. Technically, it doesn't matter for the backend because it did create the things we needed. To sign in shouldn't need that. It's doing its thing. Looks like it's still cooking. Let's see. I can leave this page alone for now. This page is good too. Looks like I'm going to. I don't need to make any new endpoints. Like these are the endpoints for the database itself. I was getting a couple of errors earlier. Create user error log file. For some reason, this isn't working, so I'm gonna try to figure that out real quick. Create user error log file takes in a user and it looks for the user ID. Logs. It did create the errors.log file. So why not open? Not create file? Um, I need to do like OS exists. I am doing that here. If creation error equals return no error. Oh, I'm doing does not equal nil. Wait. If creation. Let's first print out what the hell it is. Println creation error. Creation error is nil. It's nil because it exists, but for some reason dot exist does not return anything. So what? Wait a minute. debug creation error is nil. If it's not nil, cannot create. I don't need this line. If creation is not nil, otherwise return no error. Let's try this again. Let's delete the user and now let's run the server again. Okay. And now we're going to go back. We're going to do password. Great. Log user server event. So we get a bunch of errors. No such directory found. I think what's happening. Create user. I think this might be getting called before the user's directory is logs on. Created. Files created. Rate limit. We want to remove that for now. Pretty limiting. They're created. So I'm not doing anything with these values. We should probably free this, right? We're not returning it. Um, hmm. All right. So hmm. What was this? What was the original issue? The log file. So it says this error. Now, this isn't a big deal necessarily, right? It says that there's an error, um, but it does create the shit. So the next time I start it or do anything for that matter, it should not give any of those. Right. So this says the first time. Um, because it doesn't exist yet. So that's just like the way in which I'm calling it, or the places in which I'm calling it, rather the order in which I'm calling those functions. Right now, I'm not too worried about that. It does set everything up, so that's good. All right, so I'm not gonna worry about the log files. It does create them. Oh yeah, we vibe coded a little bit. What do we got? Oh yeah, I just asked it to move everything over. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, log files get created, the key gets created. What else do we freaking need? I do need to get to the bottom of why it's not being dec or encrypted. That is an issue. All right, next, front end work. That's good. Server is good. We don't need any new endpoints. So I can probably commit these changes up. Logging. What do we do to the server? Auth. All right. Um, so everything got added to the login thing, and the changes were made here. That's good. All right. So now for login, we need to be specific on what we want to tell this freaking thing. Because again, front end work, I feel like for the most part, you can vibe code the hell out of it, and it'd be perfectly fine. Fine, I should say. Um, Actually, I don't need to do that. Uh, 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 Okay, log in. We need to do git HTTP localhost v1 projects secure credentials. I forgot how we do get. I think it's just the get the type. We need a query parameter, or not the type. I'm sorry, the value. I do not remember handlers get requests. So uh, go down to records. We're going to get records route. Okay, yep. What's her name? ID or name. Returns everything as JSON. That's fine. I'll take that. So we just have to pass in, what was it, the record name? This is what it's all about, man. Having this thing do fucking tasks like this that I don't quite care about is it's really nice, actually. So long as you're very descriptive, generally it doesn't screw up as much. So, uh, all good there. My main concern is the back end and the API. Cool. Let's try it out. Let's see what it gave me. Start that server up. We did create a user already, so we should be good to just do the thing. Now, a minute. Did it make it? Did I do that? I did user. Oh, you know what? I didn't. I never. Wait, yes, I did. Collections, credentials, grant password. Okay. We got yes, perfect. Okay, but it didn't send us to. Okay, right. I need to tell it to do that. Whoa, wait a minute. Is the ID wrong? The ID count is incorrect. This should be 1 and 2, but it's coming back as 3. So I need to um I don't know if that's just for how it is now or if that's an actual bug in the whole program. I should probably make an issue like that. When using OstrichDB as a backend for my project, oVault, I noticed that when using a GET request for records within the cluster, the records ID value that is returned as part of a JSON object via the request handler procedure. Okay, and let's go back to oVault real quick. Okay. All right. Let's get back to this. So it did its job when we logged in. So let's double check the server is running good. No, we're not redirecting. It says it's redirecting, but it's not. Um, why is it not redirecting? Marshall, am I getting an error in the backend at all? I am not. That's strange. I don't understand why that's happening. Okay, updated. Okay. I think I'm gonna end the video here. This is just gonna be me vibe coding the front end. Um, honestly, like this project is the main point was making sure OstrichDB worked, and we have a proof of concept. It does work with a different web application. Uh, pretty pretty happy about that. I could make like an SDK for SvelteKit if I wanted to, possibly. Um, or we just need a node package. There we go. Got 404 for something. The favicon. All right, we don't care about that. Awesome. All right. I could end the video. How long have I been recording this? I don't think anybody's gonna watch too too much of this. If you made it to this point, hats off to you, honestly. Um, okay, I need to make a schema essentially for this cluster. Um, so how it would work now that we have logging in, um, now that we have logging in, we need to think about like essentially a schema for each entry in our application. So a cluster on the back end would essentially look something like this. Cluster, cluster name, identifier. And we'll have a second one called cluster ID. So we'll just call it that. And then the name, I think we'll use maybe the title for this. So it'd be something like GitHub. All right. And then so we'll have the maybe the user's email that they use for it. My cool email at email.com. We'll have their username. In fact, since it's a string, it will be encapsulated. My cool username. Their password, and we'll call it my cool password. And I guess we can have like notes or like, yeah, website URL works. Now, notes will be most likely a string array, um, like this maybe. I might even add like tags. So notes can just be a string, a long string. We'll limit it. And tags will be a string array. So let's see, I don't know, for work, for um, expires soon, things of that nature. And so we'll have to make sure that OstrichDB will understand it. Um, yeah, yeah. Okay, I think that's good. I'm going to end the video here. I might have another one come soon. Peace.